So let's say good day and welcome to this special interview, the Honorable Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Honorable Ngafuan. How are you today?
I'm fine, and thanks for coming. And let me say congratulations to you as lead moderator of the MFDP hour that we started almost exactly a month ago. I need to thank your communications director, Madam Patience Sempeni Kume, and the others, Daniel Nyakona, R. Hussein, UJ Fadiga, Carolyn Myers, and everyone. Let me thank Assistant Minister Henry Ngafuan, who led in conceptualizing this thing, and all the other technicians that helped us to reach this point, and some of the great hosts that you've had on the show. I think I followed the last time you had Dr. Moyi of Limpak. Previously you had the Assistant Minister of Budget explaining the budget process. This show is for us. It's not just for me, it's for the ministry. We'll have technical people to go to explain technical things in simple ways so that we increase economic literacy. That's the grand goal of this thing.
You were recently in Vienna, Austria. You care to tell us about the purpose of the visit?
Well, yes, I was in Vienna at the invitation of the OPEC Fund for International Development, called OFID. They were celebrating their 50th anniversary, and they invited me in Liberia. This was my second visit to Vienna. Actually, in 2010, late 2010, I was in Vienna to conclude negotiations and sign a debt cancellation agreement under the heavily indebted Poor Countries Initiative, HIPIC, during which we succeeded in having about nearly 5 billion external debt canceled. One of those that canceled, that agreed to cancel his debt was OFID. I think I concluded a 6.9 million debt cancellation agreement, and then it opened up the possibility for them to help to finance projects in Liberia. OFED is an Arab lender. They are part of the Arab group, that are helping us to fund some of our projects. And so OPEC, in fact, is part of this consortium, as I said earlier, for the Banga Menekoma Highway. We had, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in January of this year, signed a $30 million agreement. We have now succeeded in bringing the road pavement to Salaye. When the government came, things were stalled. I think around Golu, or a town called Golu, or before Golu. The work has stalled for almost a year because government was defaulting on its debt service obligation to the Arab lenders. So they stopped disbursing on that loan. As a result, the contractors practically demobilized. I led a delegation to Kuwait in January 2025. We went and renegotiated and restructured that arrangement, and we have started paying. So the contractors, I think Chico, continue the road. They have now reached to Salaye. That stretch of the road from Manga to Salaye will be formally dedicated by President Boakai as part of this year's July 26th celebration. So, but then the issue is now Salaye to Wanjama. OPEC Fund for International Development has committed 30 million. In fact, I signed that agreement here in Monrovia about 3 months ago. But the other Arab lenders, we have a consortium of Arab lenders. We have the Kuwaiti Fund for International Development and Badea, another Arab lender. Why at the conference in Vienna, I happened to conclude and to sign the agreement with Badea for another 30 million for the same stretch from now Salaye to Konya. The road from Salaye to Konya, passes through Zozo City, and then the Saudis have essentially committed to helping us to fund from Salaye, from Konya to Vonjama. They will be the single donor. They come in with big resources, but we have to take the road now from Salaye to Konya. But Ufit is funding 30 million. Badia is funding 30 million. The Kuwaiti fund is going to give us 12.8 million. The Kuwaiti fund agreement has practically been done. We are in final stages. I've signed, we'll send it by courier to them, they will sign. Our goal is to actually ratify these agreements before the legislature leaves on break in July. I was at the legislature yesterday, meeting the speaker and others, and also met my chairman, the Honorable Prince Kemumoi, who has committed to helping to making sure that these agreements are ratified, so that we don't delay on this road. The procurement process is on.
So this shows that government is keen about the Salaye Konya Vonjama corridor of the road.
Yes, we are.
What do you say to those, especially some citizens from Vonjama and Zozo districts in Ngafuan, have said that government recently broke ground for Menekoma to Vonjama leg of the highway, and you pay more attention to that side. What do you say to them?
They will pay attention to all sides, all counties. We are leaving no county behind in our development agenda, whether it's the southeast, northeast, northwest, south. This country is small, and President Boakai is president for every county, every tribe, every community. So we are not discriminating in development. We want to move fast. We are challenged. The rains are good for us, but sometimes they become our problem. During the year now, we mobilized funds for roads, Monrovia, a lot of funds to go to the border. Well, almost all the road works have stopped because of the rains. So that's why we brought in the PAVI food arrangement. The PAVI food arrangement is a PPP arrangement, public-private partnership arrangement. Is a $364 million package. And this is good for the country because it is not just Lofa. Under the PAVI food arrangement, we are taking the road from Boakai side along the Sierra Leone border to Monrovia, to St. Paul Bridge, double lane, and then from Medina to Rubber Sports, one of our biggest tourist hubs. You know what that would do for tourism. And then the road to Topmanburg will be paved. And then the road from Menekoma to Vonjama will be paved. President Boakai launched the road project with President Madabio a few weeks ago for the stretch from Waterside to Monrovia. He was in Lofa for the Menekoma to Vonjama stretch. Let me explain this. The PAVI Fort contractor, although the road was launched at Menekoma, they're going to be tackling that road from 2 points. From Menekoma, the next city you have is Foya City, and then you go to Kolahun. But in Kolahun district, there is a town called Kambolahun, where the PAVI Fort is setting up shop. So they're going to be going to Vonjama simultaneously. So there are people that think that the road will just be coming, it will be moving sequentially from Menekoma to Foya, and then before it goes to Kolahun, and then to Vonjama. No. In fact, the road may reach Vonjama before it even reaches to Kolahun. So they're moving the double prompt approach. But as they are doing that, there's the PPP arrangement. Our original arrangement with the Arabs, that's why we are on. With the Kuwaiti fund, the Badia, the Ufit, and the Saudi fund. So procurement processes are well advanced. The RIMs are now an issue. My duty as finance minister is to arrange the financing. And where we are, I can safely say to the people of Lofa and the people of the country, we are well on course on that. So it's not a matter of money. We have done that and we are doing it. We will make sure now, working with the Ministry of Public Works, that we can expedite the procurement processes. These are processes that the donors have. Sometimes it's hard to short-circuit them. But the donors themselves know that we need to move fast. So I assure the people of Lofa generally, my good citizens of Zozo district and Vojama district, that you're not being left behind. In fact, I think it's a fate that besides just the road, we have secured a 700,000 grant from them. They're going to do hospitals, 2 hospitals, I think Konya and Zozo. I've forgotten the specific hospital. That grant is going to go to that hospital. Originally, it was not part of the package. We put it in the package. Originally, it was not there. The road from Zozo to Yela. It is a very short stretch that goes to the Guinean border. Yela is a commercial place.
Okay.
And so we'll have the road paved to Yela. So
are you also thinking about electricity? I heard that.
Oh yes, true, an arrangement. Look, electricity is part of the package.
The same package, the package.
No.
Okay.
We have different packages, different donors.
Okay.
But I will have to find time to give you the entire package.
Okay.
But we're thinking of all fronts.
I don't like to ask this question, and most times when we ask you this, you don't like to respond to it. But Minister, why are you still signing agreements? There is this mindset out there that your predecessor has put it to the public. I signed all of the agreements for electricity, for roads. I see you out and about signing agreements. Why are you still signing agreements when all of these agreements should have been signed, according to former Minister Tony?
Look, I don't like to get into distracting arguments because my job is to do my job. That's why I've rallied the team, including all of you great people. We are rectilinearly focused on our job. There will be arguments out there, so sometimes we don't want to get soaked in debates.
Okay.
But you know that the road from Monrovia to Hapa is a 637 kilometer road. 637 kilometer road. Incidentally, I was in this office before. And I don't like to do this, but I signed an agreement. 249 million from red light to Ganta. Yes, I signed an agreement. I just signed. Well, it was my successors, Amara Conan and then Wema Kamara, that took it on. And some of the next steps that you saw the road actually going on. I was at Foreign Ministry, signing other agreements. The other agreement I signed was for the Japan, the freeway now we call it, 50 million. I signed the first one, and then Marjan Kamara signed the second one, and then, well look, we signed many agreements here. As finance minister, you will sign agreements. I've come back, I told you about 364 million party for agreement. I signed it. And on that road, from Ganta to Hapa, I've signed additional agreements for financing. Our predecessor, under the previous agreement, signed agreements too, which we note. But I need to tell Liberian people, signing agreement is one thing. What the people need, and the other thing I want to stress is that the road from Monrovia to Hapa is not for any regime. It was not for the EJS regime, Eddie Johnson regime. It was not for the George Weah regime. It's not for the Boakai regime.
Why?
It is for the Liberian people.
Okay.
It is not a regime road. Regime will come, regime will go. So why we should not tag regimes to roads? The roads are for the people. Those are the people roads.
So the fact is all of the agreements were not signed for those roads.
Listen, all agreements were not signed because otherwise I wouldn't have had the burden of signing agreement. You just saw me when I signed the $125 million package with the World Bank country manager, I think about a month ago at Mount Coffee. In there, I was signing an $18 million agreement with the World Bank for, I think, some stretch of the road to Zredru. Why was I doing that? I've signed under the retrap project, I think more than $40 million for the same stretch. So our predecessors signed some, and we are appreciated for that. But signing agreement is one thing. Let me explain this to you.
Okay.
You could sign an agreement, and the agreement could grow dust on the shelf. So signing agreement is one thing good. It makes you to feel good. The journalists will come and take picture and clip. You know, you shake some hands, you do some smiles. That's it. Actually, after that, what happens? Some of the agreements that were signed as early as 2018, 2019, you know. But the issue is, how many kilometers of roads were actually done within the time you are in? That is the litmus test. Our people don't care about who signed. They want to know how many kilometers were done.
I've heard specific about the Kanta-Sakipi road.
Yeah.
Before this government came to power, that project stalled. What different has this government done that the road is being implemented that far?
When you sign an agreement, some agreements will have different conditions. One, the first thing is that you need to make what they call make the agreement effective. The effectiveness condition will include ratification first. The agreement must be ratified, because if it's loan, our constitution says that all loans should be ratified by the legislature. So you got to get it out of the legislature. One. All the time you're taking to get things ratified by the legislature, the agreement is growing dust on the shelf. The other thing is this. The donors will usually require that you put up the funds for what is called the Resettlement Action Plan, the RAP. All individuals, businesses, and others that have structures along the road that must be relocated, the burden comes on the government. It's not part of the agreement. They will not give you that money. It's only now that the ADB is now changing its modality that they're putting that in, you know. But most donors, including the World Bank, it is the government's responsibility. So you could have a $100 million agreement for the road, but then they say that you fund the RAP, and the RAP will cost $10 million. All the time you are delaying to put forth the $10 million, the project will not move. So you get a $100 million commitment, but no movement. So we had situations like this. We came in, we had RAP payments that were not being done on that road. We had contractors that had demobilized because they were not receiving their payments. So we had to put in significant amount of money for RAP and paying contractors and making sure that we maintain our credibility with the donors. Let me tell you this, like the World Bank, the ADB, and others, one of the reasons why your project will stall, your debt service obligation to them. Like in this year's budget, it will surprise you to know that we have budgeted $25 million to pay the World Bank for debt service, this government, because we have been taking facility from the World Bank. If we slip on payment, they will sanction the government. And when they sanction you, all projects, all their works will stop. All their work will stop. So we have had a situation where we have largely avoided sanction because we are meticulous on meeting the payment deadlines, we budget for it, and we pay. Our credibility with the partners have gone up. So the movement you see, you know, are on account of us meeting all the effectiveness of condition and making sure that you maintain your credibility. There's something too that can cause projects not to move. When you mismanage project funds, sometimes the partners will say that the funds are ineligible, meaning that the government must pay back. And all that time you are haggling with a donor, oh no, this and that, the project will delay. So I don't want us to get so soaked in about who signed things. We signed millions and millions. Our predecessors signed some millions.
Do you get frustrated sometimes with all of the works your team is doing, and your predecessor makes it look like they've done all, and you just sit here and doing nothing and just implementing?
Well, listen, President Boakai usually says that it's not a matter who gets the credit, let the job be done. Look, my thing is, the president and the government, when smiles get on the faces of the people of this country, that's what we want. Look, I don't have to get personal credit. I signed $250 million from here to Ganta, almost $250 million. I signed the agreement for the ministerial complex, $60 million, while foreign minister. I just tell you this, you knew that? Every time you go to the ministerial complex, do I say, you should give me Nobel Peace Prize? I don't do that. But at this our job, as ministers, as public servants, we represent the Liberian people. When they get smart, forget about all the credit business. The credit goes to them. They are going to be boasting to the Ghanaians and others that in my country, I have good road. When the Liberian boasts, then we feel happy. It's not a matter of credit. So sometimes people will take credit for things that they don't do, and we're not in a track and field to clarify those things, because, as I usually say, our job is to do our job.
Let's talk about electricity, and that is one of the areas that this government has been focusing. Minister, what is the government doing in the electricity sector?
Well, we're doing a lot. We have, in our development plan, in our growth strategy, we've identified key constraints. And until we deal with those constraints that we call binding constraints, we will just be scratching on the surface when it comes to development. At one point, you've all been repeating the Chinese proverb that the road to development begins with the development of road. But also, you've also heard me saying that everybody says the private sector is the engine of growth, but I've said electricity or power is the engine of the private sector. If we must unlock the economy, we must unlock the potential of the private sector. If we must do that, we must unlock the energy sector. So we're doing all the other things. We're doing education, we're doing health, we're doing agriculture. But all of those things, will be anchored on key achievements in energy and in road connectivity, infrastructure. That's why we are putting humongous sums of money and even attracting the partners. The government, when we got the extra 200 million from Metal in this budget, we dedicated 100 million, 50 million for roads, 50 million for energy. We're doing smart metering, we're doing many things in the energy sector. I just signed with the World Bank, at the My Coffee, 57 million agreement just about a month ago for under the RESPAT project to expand the solar capacity, batteries and what have you. So since we came in, we've signed, my predecessor, Honorable Boima Kamara, and myself, I think $194 million. When you talk about the package, 100 in agreements, $194 million dollars going to the energy sector.
194 million.
94 since this government came in. 194.
And that's after the former minister of Finance said that he signed all of the agreements for the next 10 years. Why are you signing 194 million when all of the agreements for the next 10 years have already been signed?
I'm not here to debunk former or what have you. I'm here to just give the fact.
Okay.
I know that But you saw that you saw the video.
So the fact is, you are still signing agreements.
I'm still signing the agreement. Since this government came in 2024, in 2.5 years, we signed 194 million in the energy sector. The latest was 57 million at Mount Coffee. You will see the World Bank country manager and myself. In the road sector, we'll talk about the Party Food agreement, 364 million. I just signed the 30 million with Badir. I told you about Ufe 30 million. We're concluding with the Kuwaitis 12 million. So from Saraya to Konya, 72 million. And then we will soon be, people will be invited to the signing ceremony, in not too distant future, couple of months, with the Saudis for the road from Konya to Vonjama. And we're doing a whole lot with other stretches of road that you haven't brought here. There are intentions and good news is coming for the coastal highway from Bikana moving forward. Yes, good news. But let's save that for another interview. But all I want to say here is this: development is incremental. Development is incremental. And for the energy sector, when we were reaffirmed for compact under the Millennium Challenge Corporation, we've decided that any possible funding that will come through the MCC will go primarily to energy. Primarily to energy, because we want to unlock the potential of the economy. So we are going to sign agreements, but we don't sleep when we sign agreements. We don't sleep. Otherwise, it is a feel-good event. You feel good, but then there's no movement. This government signs agreements and does the work to actualize the agreement. And we will remain focused on that. Look, we, as a government, we need to move fast with development. President Boakai wants us to sprint, and we will sprint. Some of the pressures that I put folks under here at this ministry is because of the expectation of the president, and it's also because of the expectation of the Liberian people. The Liberian people feel that this government can deliver more. So we'll be held at our standard. We'll not be held at anyone's standard. So it's an A expectation they have for us. We will not be happy with B delivery. Although in some environments others would choose to school C's or D's or F's, that's their business. But we got to know expectations are high. So send the message, you are staff of this ministry. Yes, B is a good grade. But here, we need to be shooting for A all the time. And so my duty as minister will be to push you guys. Just as I've pushed you and you guys are delivering A delivery through the MFDP hour. Yeah, which is good.
Minister, finally, before we leave you, maybe you want to leave something out to the public that we did not touch? And what would that be?
No, by and large, I just need to assure the public that the president is focused on development and bringing smiles to the Liberian people. President assisted by Vice President Jeremiah Kwanku and the entire government. That's how yesterday we were at JFK. And JFK, you should have been there. The story about what JFK is today, as opposed to what it was yesterday. In fact, people now are coming from other places to JFK. Yes, the traffic of Liberians went out. Yes, Liberians are still going out. That traffic has reduced. We have some top-notch Liberian medical experts that we pay. We've also attracted externals, and we will. And the president says it because he goes there for treatment. So if the president can go to JFK, so it tells you that anyone can go to JFK. Some of us routinely seek treatment there too. So we will develop our country. There will be there will be, in our democratic space, there will be noise, which is good for our democracy. We've kept the democracy active for 20 years. We're just on BWI. If you listen to the testimonies of what has happened, places, you know, I was at the farewell program honoring the outgoing IFA director. And one of the things that moved me was the testimony of an old man called Malapu. And she testified what that intervention had done for her and her family. She has become financially independent. She can now put her children in school. So those are the little lights that we are lighting all around. And the light, according to twinkle lights, they are coming up. And it will light up the entire country. So we continue to be focused on our job, because as I said, our job is to do our job.
Thank you so much, Mr. Minister. It has been a pleasure having you on the MMPP out today.
Thank you very much.